The close-up is one of a filmmaker's greatest tools. As Balázs puts it, close-ups are the pictures expressing the poetic sensibility of the director. Take Tarantino, an obvious choice. In this scene from Jackie Brown, he uses the close-up of Samuel L. Jackson's character using a TV remote as a point of emphasis, as if to tell the audience, hey, pay attention to this shit. Let's let this play.
Oh, now check out this gun here. Now this here is a Steyr AUG. Steyr AUG's a bad motherfucker. Listen.
Bam! Back on Sam's face, up close, as he laughs. While that rewind emphasized the clip that Sam plays, the close on his reaction emphasizes his attitude towards it. We have emphasis on top of emphasis. We just learned a whole lot about this character in just seconds of screen time. Now this clip from Edgar Wright's Hot Fuzz.
By the power of Grayskull.
In that same chapter from Balázs, in reference to Eric Lessing and his photographic interpretations of Homer, he concludes that in terms of the presentation of man, objects should only be described so much as they pertain to the action. However, Epstein, in his writings on Photogenie, remarks that the close-up on an object gives said object special characteristics not unlike any human character. The close-ups on the guns, and of course the mine, gives the room a sort of character in and of itself. It's something that's mysterious, but also dangerous. But this video isn't necessarily about the power of the close-up. Rather, it's about the power of the close-up in context, or how different filmic effects can create that same power that a close-up can have with context. The close on the remote creates context for what Sam Jackson is laughing at, and that laugh creates context for his character.
Positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes.
The rapid edit of close-ups of weaponry and Hot Fuzz is overwhelming. Our brain can barely keep track. But it's from this context that creates the feeling of that room and of that scene. The context of Montage combined with the close-up is what really gives these scenes their power. Montage, as David Bordwell puts it, guides the viewer's attention, controls rhythm, creating metaphor, rhetorical points. Balázs argues that the close-up is this window, or mirror, in which we see ourselves, that to see an isolated face puts ourselves in another dimension, that of physiognomy. He references the many faces of The Passion of Joan of Arc, a film that one might consider close-up the movie. And indeed, the expression of these intimate faces tied together in Montage creates such a human tension. But in contrast, take a filmmaker like Kuleshov, known of course for the Kuleshov effect. For him, close-up isn't necessarily an end-all be-all for human storytelling. Rather, it's the juxtaposition in Montage, as previously mentioned, that does the trick. So, on that note, I'd like to end this video with a scene that has a little bit of that Kuleshov spice. It's Ozu's masterpiece, Tokyo Story, a film with no close-ups at all. That'll take us away. Early in the film, as the grandfather converses with his daughter-in-law, he spots the grandmother, who is taking one of their grandsons for a walk. First, we get this wide perspective from the grandfather's point of view. This angle, in itself, is a great moment. But Ozu, as he does, throws us a curveball. He blasts into the perspective of the grandmother and grandson. The grandmother reflects on her own motherhood, commenting on the grandson's potential and whether or not she'll be around to enjoy it, foreshadowing the end of the film. But just as we start to get familiar with the space, Ozu pulls back. This intimacy is fleeting, as it often is. There are no close-ups in the scene, but I'll be damned if I felt more connected to the grandmother in those few seconds than I ever did with Joan of Arc.